Now, I call this Toastmaster meeting to order. Welcome, fellow Toastmaster and guests, to this Toastmaster meeting. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. George?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Kathy. The mission of our club is to provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in a greater self-confidence and personal growth. And before we start, there are some Zoom guidelines. Please mute your microphones when a speaker has the virtual lectern. If you are the speaker, please have your video on so we can see you. While you are muted and want to answer a quick question, hold down your space bar. It will go back to mute when you let it go off it. Know where the chat button is, and if you see it is highlighted, then there is a message either to you or the entire group. Click on it to open it. And I will add that be aware that this meeting is recorded and we are all the time on camera. So please refrain from being distracted when we are in the meeting. Just remember, it's like we are in the room. And now to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're going to have a great time today because we are going to discover how we can even be better and greater than we already are. So that's going to be huge. We have our two coaches with us, one being our Edith Tinkin. Sorry about that. Edith Tinkin, our coach, and Cynthia Johnson Garino is our co-coach, but she's going to be giving us our poll today. We do have a visitor, and there's Oscar. We do have a visitor today with us, and that is Sandy Murphy. Sandy, would you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Sandy Murphy. Kathy has joined our Toast of St. Johns County Club as VP of E, and she has reinvigorated our club, and she invited me here today to this club. And if you have time, possibly I might be giving an icebreaker. I'm very fluid, I'm very flexible.
Thank you, Sandy. Okay, okay, and on to our meeting here. Since we have an MOT and we don't know how long it's going to last, hopefully only 40 minutes, but sometimes they have a tendency to go on. And so I will introduce my functionaries though, however, and our first one will be Sandy DePrimo, who is our grammarian. Sandy, would you tell us what you're going to be doing today, please? Muted.
I lost y'all there for a minute. I am going to look for good English, great phrases, ahs, ums, and you knows, and ands, and buts, and keep track of everybody and let you know how you're doing. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sandy DePrimo. DTM, I might add, Distinguished Toastmaster. We're very proud of our Sandy. And the next one is our timer, Martha Hazard. Martha, would you please tell us what you'll be doing for us today?
Thank you, Kathy. I am Toastmaster today, timer today. I'm keep track of the time for assigning speakers, table topic, participants, and evaluators. I don't know if it's a speech today. I don't know. No? Okay. But the normal, the speech is those 5 to 7 minutes, and receive the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. For table topics, the qualifying time is 1 to 2 minutes. The green card will be displayed at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1.5, and the red card at 2 minutes. For evaluations, which are 2 to 3 minutes, the green card will be displayed at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2.5, and the red card at 3 minutes. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Today, since we'll be having an MOT or Moments of Truth session, I believe we'll be going for 40 minutes. So I would suggest at 35 minutes, do the green card. Is it 30 minutes, the green card, 35 yellow, and 40 red. Does that work out for you guys? Does that seem right? Okay, great. Excellent.
I have a proposal,
Yes, ma'am.
a timing proposal.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought we would give up to 10 minutes to complete the survey and then 5 minutes to discuss each of the sections. That would still be 40 minutes. But you've done this in this way before. So how do you feel about that?
As long as we can stay within the 40 minutes, we did it, like I said, last Wednesday, it worked out well. We'll discuss for a minute or two the poll, but just have Martha give us the thing at 30 minutes, then we know about where we are, and then 35, and then 40. And so we have that window right there if we want to discuss more, or if it, if maybe we've already discussed everything we need to discuss. We'll see how it works out. But she's already worked out our polls and everything. So she's a fast typer. She did it in 10 minutes. So anytime anybody needs typing done, I'll give you her address and phone number. Thank you, Cynthia. Do we have a vote counter? If we do get to table topics, do we have a vote counter? Ann Kit, can you be our vote counter today?
Sure, I can be the vote counter.
Okay. If you would rename yourself, Ann Kit Givon. I love that name, Givon. And if you would put that as vote counter so that it keeps it in my head too, or else I'll write it down also. Now we will continue on to the purpose of our meeting today, and I will officially introduce to you our MOT person and coach. Cynthia Johnson-Garino joined Toastmasters in 2012. She has held several leadership roles and is currently coach for the Hunters Creek Club. Cynthia is a lifelong learner, and Toastmasters has continuously provided her new and interesting learning experiences. She is committed to Hunters Creek Club's sustainable success and looks forward to facilitating the Moments of Truth program this morning. Please welcome to the lectern, Cynthia Johnson-Garino. Yay. You're muted. You are muted.
I should know better. The virtual lectern was not far. It was not a long walk for me. I am happy to be here this morning. And as Kathy mentioned, I am a lifetime learner. And in the last 24 hours, I have learned a lot about Zoom polling. I am going to present to you your MOT. As you know, the Moments of Truth is an exercise that a club can do together to help them form a better first impression. And we all know, and many people are credited with being the first to say, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. I wanted to check in. Did Edwin get to hear? Are you doing okay? Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was on board. There are many ways to do the moments of truth. It is a survey that Toastmasters has put out that looks at 6 different categories that will help a club decide what kind of a impression they are making to their guests. And if you and potential members, as George said, prospects, it's all about members, keeping members coming into your club, because as you know, you're going to have members going out of your club due to just attrition, moving away, taking a new job, having family responsibilities. If you have a club that has members always coming in, it's going to be fresh, it's going to be new and exciting, and you're going to have really good meetings. Today, we're going to look at how to make a better first impression for Hunters Creek by doing a survey. I have frantically typed, as Kathy mentioned, all of the questions and answers on the survey into a poll. We will launch the poll, and then you can choose multiple answers to say, yes, your club is doing it, or no, you don't feel your club is doing it. It will be anonymous, so we won't know who said what. And then we can go through the different sections, and where your club is maybe not doing something as well as you think you should, we can discuss that. So should I just launch the poll at this point?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
This would also be the one that you don't think okay, you can say, oh, well, we do that. No, we don't do that. And then that's the one that you think we don't do good enough.
Cynthia, would it be fair to think that members should also think virtually, how are we replacing some of these behaviors, if you will? It's good to think about how are we doing that online, and if we are or not, because some of these items, it's easier to do it on a physical meeting, but definitely on the online system, like we're learning how to make sure that some packages are sent online and all of that. So do you want that for the members to think about regular meetings face-to-face, or just on the virtual as it is today?
I would say as it is today, because we can do this poll again in January, and I would say we're pretty safe between now and January that this is going to be the status of the club, and what guests that will be coming to a virtual meeting.
That makes sense. Thank you so much.
How many, did you just give us 2 questions? Cynthia,
The way that she did it, she put it all on the same thing and are on the same, what do you call it?
Poll.
because,
Oh,
There should
thank
be
you.
7 questions.
7
Be able
questions.
to scroll down.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here. It's not going.
I mean, there should be 6 sections and they should each have between 6 and 7 answers
Okay.
that you can choose. And you can choose multiple ones, obviously. It's if
Yeah.
you do it, choose it. If you don't do
Seeing
it,
that,
don't
but
choose it.
it's not moving. I don't know why.
You might need to scroll, put the cursor in the middle and then scroll as you were scrolling the internet.
I don't know why it's not moving. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Perfect. You have to go to the middle, pretty much. Thank you.
Hey, Cynthia, I am not able to submit. I've finished all 6 questions. I'm a guest, so I could do it pretty quickly. And, but it won't let me submit.
I think you have to fill
This is,
something out in each category, otherwise it won't accept it.
okay, number 3.
What did you say, Oscar? You have to choose
Yeah,
something?
I think you have to actually choose one in each category, otherwise it won't accept it. I had the same problem because in the last category, I didn't choose anything, and then I chose something and it took it.
See if that works for you, Sandy. Was there any category that you didn't make a selection?
Yes, I missed one. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Oscar. Is everybody able to do it? Anybody need more time? We're at 7 minutes. We've got,
A little more time.
One more time, that's fine.
Just a little, because of this, I'm unable to scroll down as fast as I would like to.
If you'd like to, okay.
I think everybody's submitted now.
11 of 11, you are correct. All right. I wonder why that came up red.
Oh, that's great. That might be okay, because I think some of us were doing guest greeted warmly and introduced to officers and embers. I know that we always do that. Even before I joined, everybody was always greeted warmly. So I don't know the, because what I was wanting to do is everybody to put in what they didn't think we did, but it's kind of.
Well, now you can just see the numbers. You can read,
Yeah.
you can read the numbers. So obviously 10 out of 11 people felt that that
We were.
everybody was greeted warmly and introduced to officers. So that's not an area. The guest book and name tags don't really apply, which is why people didn't choose it. But I would encourage you on Zoom, it's very easy to change the name in the box and put what their role is, if they're a guest or something else. So that would be a name tag. Definitely would qualify and make people feel like they were part of the meeting, if you wanted to do that.
The meeting location, I believe, is going to be an issue when we get back to personal. If that's going to, I don't know if that's going to be an issue or not. You don't think so, George?
I do.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's going to be an issue.
We were at the library. Will they let us back in?
I think it's going to be an issue for a lot of places. I'm on the outside looking in, but at the other club that we meet at Turnpike, we were meeting in a conference room that they had, but we were outside. It was a secure building. It had to be, you had to sign in. You had to provide identification to get into the building. I don't know if they're going to be ready to have outside people come in for at least 6 to 9 months when this has gone down, because why would they want to subject employees to the possibility of difficulties, and from COVID. So I think it's going to be in a lot of places. The libraries certainly haven't opened up to any kind of a group meeting.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I think we're going to be online for a very long time.
June has a question.
Yes, based on the numbers, I am not sure, did you want us to answer the questions for yes, or did you want us to answer the questions for no? Because based on the stats, I think some of us did one way and some of us did another way, based on the stats. So I think we should redo it, and this is just my opinion, redo it and just let us know exactly whether we should check the yes or we should check the no. Because based on what I'm seeing, it appears as though we had mixed messages.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, well, relaunch the poll and only choose what you do.
No, oh, okay.
You want to choose what you do? You want them
Yes,
to
what
choose
we do.
what they don't do, Kathy?
What we do, what we do.
What we do, y'all
Yes.
want that? Is that group? Okay, that's better.
Only-
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank
Okay,
you.
what we do.
Well,
Okay,
Well,
ready to do it?
yes.
okay,
you.
relaunch.
Okay, here goes.
Begin.
Again.
Cynthia, I'm a guest, so I was not able to answer yes to a lot of questions simply because I'm a guest. So that might skew your results a little bit.
It
I
might
just
make
didn't
it-
have any knowledge of certain things. Thank you.
You only have to pick one in a section, though. Anybody need more time? No? All right, we can start then. All
Well,
right.
wait a minute, wait a minute. We're only 8 out of 11 this
Just
time.
a second.
Oh, some people need more time. I'm sorry, you're right.
June's computer, the way she is on her desktop.
Yes, I'm having a little bit.
That's okay. Take your time. I'm seeing the results. I'm anxious.
Cynthia, is there a way to save the polling when it's all done so we can review it
Yeah, I
later?
think I can get a report and I can definitely, you know, I'm recording it also on my machine. So I think I definitely am going to be able to see what I've seen on my machine.
Okay.
I'll be able to go back, but I think I can do reports.
And I'm going to be taking snapshots of each poll.
Okay, we've got 11 of 11.
Okay.
So I can end the polling and then we can look again. I don't know why it comes up in these colors, but just look at the ones where it's not going all the way across. That's the one where people did not pick yes. So again, in your the first question, we talked about the name tags or a guest book. Is someone recording the names of the guests though? The information about guests, is someone in the club recording that? Like writing it
Yeah.
down, or keeping a note of that? I think that would count as a guest book virtually, if you're doing that.
Can you show us the polling? Show us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Share results.
I
There you
didn't
go.
share
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry. So you want to look at the ones that do not have lines going very far across, because that would be the ones where people did not choose that as being done.
So the one thing that I see, the guest book and name tags, I mean, we can't do that. I see what you're saying. Yeah, we try to have everybody put their name and their name, email address, and phone number in the chat. Do we not?
Yeah.
Like Sandy Murphy, we will have her put her email address in the side here.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
what do we do though? Like once we get the email address and the names of the guests, are we supposed to send them emails or invite them for future meetings?
Vimalda, that's usually
yes.
what I do as the
Oh.
VP of membership. I'll then go ahead and email them, invite them to the next meeting. I have a series of 3 different emails that I send out to them in the next 2-week period to kind of prompt them to come
Invite
on
them.
back.
Okay. And we are already doing that, George?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right. The only other thing about professionally arranged, that doesn't really apply. And the convenient meeting location, I would vote myself, as this is very convenient right now. But I do miss the in-person thing. But I didn't take the poll, so I wasn't on that. Let's go to the second one, just so we can move on to.
Someone had a question, I think.
As for professionally arranged, I think that I look at backgrounds.
Oh, I do too.
I think everybody has appropriate backgrounds and things like that. They don't have anything inappropriate. So that would be professionally arranged, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think most of us would right now like to go visit Vimala where she lives in her castle. So
it's the Harry Potter Hogwarts.
Queen
Hogwarts headquarters.
She's just not wearing her tiara.
Yeah, I mean, I need to get that witch hat, but yeah.
So I think, what do you think? Our club coaches. Moving on.
Should go on to section 2, the membership orientation. Not many people thought that there were formal inductions or presentations of a membership pin and I guess indoctrination to pathways now. How do you feel about that? Do you think that that's an important thing that you might want to start including?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to refer to you, Edith, when you were giving your presentation, and she said about our badges and things that, you know, we recognize when we achieve a path or level. And it was just like, you know, the badges. And I think we all get that from when we were little kids and in grade school. We got those stars up on the chart. Ooh, Kathy did that, George did that, and et cetera, et cetera. We enjoy doing that. And I think that that's probably something we should becoming more aware of. And even on our, what do you call it? Our Free Toast Host website, start putting our recognition in there for who did what, like Nina does at Turnpike. I think that's a really good thing.
My experience at some other clubs that I've belonged to is it really makes a difference when you are inducted into a club and you are asked to read your responsibilities as a new member, and you are also hearing what the club's responsibility is to you. Otherwise, people have to gain a sense of what they're supposed to do or what being a member of a club involves. And you are expected to come to meetings. You are expected to work the program. You are expected to bring others to the meetings. But you don't know that if you've never been inducted or you've never been told or read the induction ceremony. I'm a big person in favor of that. You are too, George? How about learning needs assessed? Does the VP maybe talk to new members or find out where everyone is? Maybe.
I do. Well, I look it up. I look it up in Pathways. I need to start talking to everyone, but my life has been crazy the last month.
I know, you've been doing so much education.
So, but I have a handle on who is where and who has a path. But I think I need to start talking to people one-on-one.
Yep. And especially, I think that goes with everything. Well, everybody, I think, is on Pathways now for sure. But the learning needs assessed. Why are you here? And Sandy, she knows how to ask those questions really, really well.
How about, what was I going to say? Assignment of a mentor to a new member. Do you have that policy or not so much? George,
yeah.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Well, no, we were just going through that the other night. And I believe that we have, let's see, I have my list here.
It's 50-50 is what she's getting at. We have half assigned, half not yet assigned. Is that correct, Kathy?
Mentors? No, I thought it was, oh, was it that many?
Yeah, we had it.
Well, it does say 45%, so obviously, yeah. So it's something we need to look into also then, because, yeah.
So you're doing mentors for everyone. That was kind of my question. I just was asking about new members.
But everyone needs a mentor.
Mentor.
We don't have any new.
Well, yes, we do. Lamalda doesn't have one yet.
Pilar doesn't have one, do you?
Yes, yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Oh, Sandy?
Sandy. Yeah.
And Vimala doesn't have one?
We'll get Vimala taken care of.
Yeah.
Hunter's Creek.
So that was very good. And the learning needs assessed, that goes along with asking them about the mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and discuss accommodations for
Sandy.
members with disabilities. You know, I think we do great when Randall is here. We're very adaptable. But I don't think it's ever been discussed.
Well, and you can decide if that's something that's needed. Do you want to go on to the next one? Actually,
Yeah.
Pretty good.
How you doing?
Nobody picked regularly scheduled social events because I guess those are kind of on hold for now. Did you have them before?
No.
You never did post toasties or any kind of thing where you said, let's get together as a club and go to lunch or drinks or?
I thought we always did that after, well, not with the whole club though, but there were some of us that always went out, right? You had lunch and I went home happy a few times.
That was actually my reason for joining a club in Atlanta, because I didn't know anyone. I was there by myself, and it was initially a social, I was looking for a social interaction as well to help me acclimate to the city. So I like the social aspect of a club, but not all clubs are for that.
I have a suggestion, like at work, we do virtual happy hours. We have like virtual social gatherings. Like if we want to pursue that, we can do that if people like it.
That's a great idea. Virtual happy hour.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
Edwin
and
has a question.
Edwin, and then you.
Okay, I want to put my grain of salt on all of this exercise. I think, yeah, in the entire exercise, I think that the reason we're having the kind of answer by percentage that we are having for each one of the items is because we might do whatever it takes from us and whatever it's on our hands to motivate members and guests to participate on this, to participate on that. But when it comes to the actual outcome, it will be the member or the guest decision if they want to participate. If we want them, greet them warmly, it's our responsibility individually. But if they participate in activities, we advertise, we promote the activities. If they don't want to come, then we shouldn't punish ourselves as a club saying that they don't participate, because there's nothing we can do as long as we are doing our part, that is informing, motivating, inviting, all of those things. So some of the question, we need to be very careful. How do we interpret the information? Because if we do our part and they don't even want to try it, then we cannot say as a club, we don't participate in these kinds of activities. We don't go these places. We don't go to these other clubs, to the area, to the division, to the district events.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent point.
Okay, yeah, it's a good point. It definitely is a good point.
June had a question.
Well, I have a comment, please. When I had chartered the First Evening Club here in Kissimmee, and what we did as one of our events was we had the induction of the officers, and also at that time we also, anyone who received the awards, we had an actual event outside and everybody came dressed up, and the awards were given out. It was well done program. And we also did a Christmas event too. We either did it at someone's house or we did it at a restaurant. But so those were some of the outdoor activities that we had done, and it made, it sort of promoted a team atmosphere and a happy atmosphere, so that we always had 20 members. We never did go under 20, we went 20 and above. And I think some of all these different activities have promoted the membership of Toastmasters.
Absolutely. Thank you. Cynthia?
Yeah, I would just also encourage you to, the members you have as well as the members that you get, to ask them why they joined. You may find there are other people like me that join more for they want a club experience. They're looking for a club. Yes, they love the speaking and the educational part of it, but they're also looking for that social aspect. And they want to make friends and they want to do things outside of the club as a Toastmasters club, but still they want to do things outside of the club. So yes, offering them, they don't have to do them. Not everybody wants it. Some people aren't interested at all, but it's nice for a club to offer them occasionally.
Edith had a question.
Actually, I have a comment. One of the things that we need to probably evaluate is indeed in this environment doing the social face-to-face is more difficult. And I want to build on Edwin's comment. I would agree that sometimes we do activities that might not yield the results that we're expecting, and we're putting a lot of energy and efforts on those and resources. The question is, how do we measure effectiveness of those activities? When I am doing an open house, even if it's virtual or even if it's face-to-face, and it's not motivating the people, and it's not allowing, getting the people to the behaviors that we're expecting, at least in a percentage. And the typical is you do a blast and you have 10% response. From there, you have so many who come, and from there you have 2, 3 maybe interested, and then you get 1 or 2 members. Things like that. George will know more about that than I do, right, George? But at the end of the day, the question is, how effective are we in those activities? If we're not yielding the results, if the people is not responding to those activities that we're doing, yes, we're doing what we need to do. The question is, if it's worth doing that, or is it a moment that we have to say, we're not getting the results we're expecting, do we need to reevaluate what we're doing to make sure that we're doing something that is more motivating and more engaging to people? That was my comment. Thank you.
So I guess when you're planning them, that's something for you to discuss. What is the result that you're looking for? Is it a social event to be a social event, or is it a social event? You're on mute.
Yeah, I agree with you, but sometimes it changes over the years. So
Sure.
I joined for one reason, I'm staying for another, but you got to get them in the door.
Right, that's right.
And Cynthia, if I may, the other piece is, you know, one thing is evolving, right? And the other thing is, after we do activities, one question that is not in MOT, but is important for a club to do, is thinking of doing what we call a post-mortem evaluation. After you do a gathering, an open house, a media blast, whatever it is that you do, any type of activities to draw visitors or any expected results, then always evaluate, get back after the fact, and then evaluate what we did well, what we had done differently, and what was the results that we obtained. So you can replicate successes and adapt as you go. That was another comment.
I would also like to add that we should also look at what lessons we learned from the specific event, because sometimes we may think that what we did was 100%, but there will be new people, new voices who would give us more input. And there might even be guests that come by and they may be able to give some form of contribution, something positive or negative, to let us know where we should go from there, or how we can improve. So we have to be always be open to listen to each person.
We're at our time, and it looks pretty good for the program planning. You really seem to be the shortest one was all projects are manual pathways projects, but I don't know. What is that? Is that people are doing pocket speeches maybe, or just doing something that doesn't count towards anything, particularly in the education program, just speaking?
Unfortunately, sometimes that occurs.
Yeah, but I think there's something to be said for pocket speeches. I'm very big on pocket speeches rather than no speech.
Well, you have a direction. And now what I see is we need to have a couple pocket speeches that apply to our pathways ready to go. So that way, if you have the opportunity, then it fits the mold of what Toastmasters wants us to drive for too, at the same time giving our speech.
Right, and the fifth section is the membership, and that is the crux usually of why a club has a coach. And this is because the membership has dropped off, often for a variety of reasons, and you really need to have 15 to 20 members, even to just make it a good meeting every week so that all the roles are filled. You can have a couple of speeches and you're not having duplication over those things. So that's where I guess you want to put a lot of your attention on how to attract some new members and retain the ones that you have.
Also, the promotion of club in the community or within its organization, I think we can work on that, being quite honest. I think like in St. Augustine, we're getting with the Rotary Club, and it's, you know, I keep saying the same things over and over, but it really is relevant to everyone, to every club, I believe. Your schools, your businesses, look at the businesses. There's going to be a lot of entrepreneurs now, especially in this COVID environment. Your Chamber of Commerce, your Rotary clubs. And I just found, well, in fact, I didn't get enough, but these flyers that, wait just a sec, I choose virtual background, none. Okay, these guys here, I think these are so cool. And I think it would be so easy to just take them around to different places, like maybe the restaurants or something like that. They are expensive for shipping. But I know that George being there for so long, you guys have tried all sorts of different things already. But it might be worth reminding people that we are there and that we can serve a purpose.
Well, when you do your planning, which is taking these aspects and deciding which ones are you going to come up with a plan to try to improve, that would be a good idea to enter as a tactic for maybe achieving some recognition and some membership. The last section, again, they're talking about sponsoring members, recognizing that, membership building programs, and then the last section is about the Distinguished Club Plan, making sure that everyone is aware of where the club is, what the plan is, and how you're progressing through the plan. A big, more than 50% of that is the membership. You have to meet your membership goal for the year in order to be a distinguished club. I think yours is 5 new members this year that you need, and you have to retain them as of June 30th of 2021 in order to qualify.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have 2 new members, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we need 3 more people, but this DCP is used for planning and recognition. I never really realized, I have the book, and I think I need to read it again because I think it should be like 100% DCP is used for planning and recognition. I think that should be like 100%, but yeah.
Well, I'm sure, George, if you've been around for a while, you remember the charts, and the other people have been around for a while as well.
I've got one on my file
Remember the
cabinet
chart
right
they
here.
used to put on the wall and they
I
would
have
go up?
it.
You have it?
Cynthia,
Yeah, I have it
You
right
put it
here.
behind you as your background, George, and that would be,
Listen.
could be on display.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Cynthia, are you telling us old people?
No, I meant tenured
I'm teasing.
Toastmaster, TT, tenured Toastmaster.
He was
Yeah,
a
that's
kid.
exactly it. And it used to be, you could write on it with a, like an erase it. You had a marker that you could put on it.
You know, I just bought a small whiteboard. Vista had a white elephant cell, and we did an auction on Zoom here Thursday evening. I bought a little white, one of those dry erase boards, and that's what we'll do. I will use that. So everybody get onto your pathway so I can put your name up there in a big star.
All right.
So that's it. So I can turn this report over and you can go forward with these results to decide exactly what your plan is going to be. The MOT was just to get a consensus from your members of where you are, where people feel you are, and to highlight areas that you want to work on to improve the experience of your club. With that, I can turn it back over to Kathy.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you very much. We have much to think about, and each week I'm going to send you all the little snapshots that I have. And each week each time we meet, perhaps we can just have a few moments in how to see or take a poll on how we're doing better and how we're achieving our goals. And now I would like to, well, we have a timer. We had our timer. Martha, we were doing pretty good, weren't we?
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, sir. Or ma'am, sorry.
Really? Anyway, instead of the Toastmaster minute or the tip of the week, can we do an MOT update?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Even if it's not every week, but like at least.
Oh, that's what I was gonna, an MOT update, like I have those chart things. I did this, and I'll put them on a doc. And I think that's a great idea. Oh, she always has a head full of good ideas. Okay. I have to make notes for everything. And thank you. Continuing on. Let us continue with our table topics. As soon as I find, yes, there we go. As soon as I find our table topics, and George Hazard, DTM, I might add, Distinguished Toastmaster, will be leading us in our table topics. And I do not have an official introduction from him, but he is a lifelong member of Toastmasters.
There you go.
Yes, and so please welcome to the virtual lectern, George Hazard, DTM, for our table topics session.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm a Toastmaster. You're right. You're right. And I love asking table topic questions because that means I don't have to answer them. So let me get started. I know Sandy Murphy, you are yes, let's start with you because I know you're a Toastmaster, so you don't mind. If you could grow a garden, Sandy, if you could grow or build a garden with only 3 plants, what would they be and why?
Oh, if I could build a garden, that would be really great. Just starting out with building a garden. I tried to build a garden this summer. Well, the 3 plants that I would put in my garden really depends on the season because I really wanted to plant kale this summer, but I went to the nursery and they said, no, no, no. Kale won't grow in the summer. So we're somewhat limited in what we want to do by the universe and the way the universe works. So we think we have control over everything. and we can go out and we can buy exactly what we want, and we can put it in the ground, and it doesn't matter whether there's snow or sun or heat or hurricanes, and it will grow. And that's not true. So we really need to take into consideration, my number 3 choices would be, I have a t-shirt that says eat more kale. My 3 top choices would be kale, kale, and kale. But right now I'm going to have to wait a little bit longer before I can plant my kale.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Vimalda, if you'll step up to the microphone. My daughter once wrote a speech entitled "Cats Rule, Dogs Drool." So I kind of know what your answer will be. Do you prefer cats or dogs? But why?
All right. I mean, I think everyone knows that the answer, I definitely 100% or maybe like infinity%, I would prefer dogs over cats. I'm a dog person. I feel like dogs are, I wouldn't say more affectionate, more interactive is the word I want to use. So when I come in, one of my close friends, she had a cat. Whenever I go to her house, she just wants to get away from everyone except the owner. Maybe she loves the owner, but even if we go near her, the cat would be like, what are you guys doing? Just stay away from me, leave me alone. Whereas the dogs, I feel like they love their owners and the guests as well. Wherever I go, they run, they sometimes bark, but I feel like it's affectionate. Definitely love dogs. I have a dog. He's a sweetheart and he always wants to join us as well. That's the other thing, dogs wants to join. That can be our new member to Toastmasters. I don't think I can get a cat to join us. So that's the other thing I would say. So it's different. Dogs rule, definitely 100%. Thank you, George. Back to you.
Very good. Thank you, Vimalda. We knew that was a softball question, didn't we? Especially with your dog in your lap. And Kit, let's talk about a physical activity. Jogging, cycling, or swimming? Which do you prefer and why?
I haven't done it in a while, but I'd probably go with cycling because when I do physical activity, if I have the option, then I'd rather do something where I get to see different things. And cycling is also fun because I feel like you can go a little bit further than you would going on, say, your typical jog.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the last time I rode a bike, to be honest with you, so I feel like that would just be fun. I also like to go hiking, for example, at different places and see what's out there. Last year I took a trip out to Arizona, and there's some amazing places to go see there, even though it seems like a state that's, I would say, pretty vast in terms of its like amount of open land. So for me, I would pick cycling out of those 3. Back to you, George. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been on the trails in Arizona. They're different than here. They really are. Hey, let's turn our attention to Miss Martha. Oh. Martha, if you were invited to a cookout, what would you bring and why? If you were invited to a cookout, what would you bring and why?
What I didn't bring. Okay, this is very, very easy for me. I'm a sweet lady and always prepare desserts. This is my passion and my work now. And always I'm prepared cakes and cookies and desserts for our parties invited. Or now it's a little more work for me, but George and I are keto now, and I'm prepared dessert for my friends, my normal friends, and with regular sugar, and prepare for George and me keto dessert. And always I'm offer the sweets for the invite. Thank you.
There we go. I have to mute and then take my earpieces out just to talk to her. Do we have time for one or two more? Say yes.
One more.
Well, una más. Then I have picked one out for Pilar. Pilar, you know, we were talking about animals. I'm not going to ask you about dogs or cats. I'm going to ask you if you've ever been horseback riding. Where and why?
I'm sorry.
Horseback, you know, where you get on top of a horse like a cowgirl.
Oh, George. George, that's been my trauma. Thank you for the question. You just took me back when I was 8 years old, visiting my grandmother to the country. I was so happy to go visit and enjoyed all the activities and the freshness of the food and enjoy the animals around. And of course, I wanted to get on top of the horse. That was the funnest thing to do as a child, right? Everybody was riding on a horse. So there I was prepared. I did all that needed to be done in order to get on top of the horse. And when I was on top of the horse, I was so scared. It was so high. I was little, and the horse, it wasn't that tall, but I felt that I was, oh my God, what am I going to do on top of this animal? It was huge for me. And when he moved, he made his first move to start walking, I was so afraid that I jumped off and I fought off the horse. Never again in my life I get on the horse, George. I'm afraid. Never again tried. Thank you so much for the question.
or the trauma they're revisiting. You know the saying, you got to get back on the horse. And let's turn it back over. I'm told we're out of time for my portion, so let's turn it back over to our Toastmaster, Kathy.
Thank you all for a wonderful, wonderful table topics. Can we have a timing on those two, please, Martha?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Lo mucho siento.
Okay, now. Table topics, Sandy Murphy, 1:05. Bimala, 1 minute, 11 seconds. Ankit, 1 minute, 12 seconds. Marta, I don't know. Pilar, 1 minute, 12 seconds. Yes.
Excellent. Would you all please send your, who you think won for this table topic session, please. Send your voting to Ankit. I was looking for you. Yes, if you would please send your, who did the best table topics to Ankit. It's a good one, Vimala. All good? Everyone's voted? Thumbs up, please.
I've got 7 votes so far.
Oh, 7? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good.
I didn't receive the poll to vote.
Oh, oh, you know
There's no
what? I
poll.
didn't send out a poll. All I did was just ask them to send
Oh,
them
to send to,
in private.
all right, okay. I'm sorry.
No, no worries.
Ankin,
Oh.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
I can write in my chat box, but it won't send.
Okay, no worries.
Did you try pressing enter? Just press enter. It should send it. No? All right. Everybody's computer is different. It's so hard to know.
Yep. Are we good?
Yeah, I think we have everyone's vote now.
Thumbs up if you voted. Okay, thank you. And right now we are going to go into our general evaluator session to see how we did today. And Edith Tinkin is our general evaluator today. She has very kindly I don't know if I volunteered her or voluntold, but we appreciate it. And Edith Tinkin joined Toastmasters in April 2018, presently serving as Division E Director. Edith believes in the greatness of others and finds Toastmasters a vehicle for developing leadership, the exchange of knowledge, and supporting each other's success. Please welcome to our virtual lectern, Edith Tinkin, our club coach.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, this was fun, different. I love Edwin Halo of fruits. Lots of kiwis around him, right? Fantastic. First of all, I would like to say congratulations in a very well run meeting. I mean, you used time very properly. I love the fact that you started on time, did the Pledge of Allegiance, club mission. That's a detail that not every club does. And I think it's so important. I believe that, oh, check it out. Okay, now we have cakes. And then that has nothing to do with our being not necessarily on keto diet, okay? I was mentioning that I like the fact that this club does the club mission at the beginning. I've seen that practice in some clubs, but not in all clubs. And I believe it's so important to remind ourselves what are we here for. Keep doing that. It's a great, great activity to do. Then love the fact that you did the instructions for the Zoom up front, because otherwise you're wasting time during the meeting telling people, mute your microphone, unmute yourself, rename yourself, and things like that. Definitely a great idea. And then right on that, the idea of announcing that the meeting is being recorded, it's a good reminder, because even though when we join, if it's already ongoing, it's telling you this meeting is going to be recorded, you want to proceed, and we had that sort of warning. Reminding people that they're being recorded is always a good, especially because there's laws in Florida for that. Introduction of guests was fantastic, and allowing the guests to speak first, I think is very a good practice, because then for sure they will be speaking. It's always good to do it at the end as well, to capture their feelings and thoughts about the meeting. So think about that. If it's best to do it up front, is it best? We just introduce the person and then ask their thinking at the end, instead of asking them to speak up front, because it could be intimidating if the person is not a Toastmaster visitor. We have a good size of participants today, and functionaries were introduced properly. I like the idea that there was a lot of exchange of ideas from each other and the desire to make the club better. Thank you, Cynthia, for doing the moments of truth. I know we have an officers meeting right after this meeting to discuss some of the inputs that you have provided. And just for the record, and so nobody gets anxious, I will share very quickly my screen here. and this will be no more than a second, but basically you can see that I did capture all your answers so we can work on the club success plan right after this meeting. Having said that, I had no further comments other than congratulations with 2 new members already on board. I think you are on your way to success. Thank you.
Thank you, Edith. See, we're doing great. That is exciting news, and I look forward to that. We are at the end of our meeting, and I want to thank everybody for coming. Sandy, I'm going to ask Sandy Murphy, what did you think of the meeting? I know we didn't get to your a speech there for you, but we have other meetings, and so we'll get that in there too. But what did you think as a guest?
This was a very well run, and it was a pleasure, and it was a lot of fun. And thank you for asking me to do table topics. That was very nice, and you're very, very organized. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming, and we're going to be going over, I think Sandy has a brilliant, June, were you wanting to say something?
Oh, no.
Okay. Oh, we have to get our winners. Who got best table topics, or who received, I do not like that word. Who received our best table topics and kit?
So the best table topics was Pilar's horse riding story.
Pilar. And for Pilar. Good job. Sorry about the traumatic events though. George, she might be going back to therapy for you.
Yeah. Let's go on a horse ride instead.
Yeah, getting back up on that horse. That'd be a great social event for us too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I thank everybody for attending, and our officers, as you well know, we're going to be having an officers meeting. And if you want to stay, you're more than welcome. But if not, I right now adjourn the meeting unless I've forgotten anything. George, Sandy, everything's
Forgot
good?
me.
Oh, sweetheart, you're coming along.
Oh,
grammarian, as grammarian. Oh my goodness. Grammarian, Sandy DePrimo, our DTM, newest member of the DTM Society, our newest distinguished Toastmaster. For that, we're going to give her a hand, a yahoo. And if you would please, Sandy DePrimo, give us how we did excellent today. Oh, and some little failures.
There was a few ahs and ums. There really wasn't much to go with because there were pretty well-spoken people. But I will say to Martha, your English is getting so much better.
Thank you.
You're doing well. You should be proud of yourself. I love when Pilar said, George, that is my trauma. My sister insisted on riding a horse, and the horse went under a tree, and she ended up hanging in the tree.
Oh, wow.
So there was trauma there too. Sandy Murphy, when he asked what kind of garden would you had, I thought about a vegetable garden too. So when you said kale, 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 I was thinking cucumbers, cucumbers, cucumbers. And I did finally get one cucumber like this long, and then the plant died. I never thought about cycling in Arizona. I always thought it was too hot, but you're right, there is vast amount of land. So it really would be a good place for that. Other than that, that's what I have, because there really weren't a lot of ums and ahs. And everybody was pretty well spoken. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. I had a horrible result just a few days ago, so this makes me feel really good. Thank you very much. Everyone, like I said, we will adjourn the meeting. Congratulations to Pilar, best table topics, and thank you all for coming in for our Moments of Truth. We will be working on this every single meeting. I think it's really important that we stay on top of this. And if you have anything to say or you want to contact me for any sort of guidance, or Kathy, we need to put this into effect. Write me. You all know my phone number, I believe, I think, and you have my email address. There's myself and George, any one of us, please feel free to reach out. Okay, for that, I